Hello everybody, it's Bendominator and welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving all my hopes for Chapter 4 since we are going to be seeing it pretty soon here. And there's definitely a lot of things that I do really want to see for Chapter 4. Of course, before we get in the video, if you guys do end up enjoying content, be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new because I make videos like this all the time. And you can also use my supported creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. So the first thing that I really want to see would be a brand new map, a completely new map, which means no old POIs, no old landmarks, nothing even reminiscent of old Fortnite, just a brand new map, everything completely fresh. And there's a lot of old POIs that I do really like and would be nice to have, such as places like Tilted Towers, but honestly for Fortnite to innovate, I feel like it needs to be completely different. We need to see something completely new. So yeah, that's my first major hope for Chapter 4. Next up we have biome diversity, which also has to do with the map. I think Chapter 3 did a really good job of having pretty good biome diversity from the start. You know, we saw grasslands, we saw snow, we saw desert, we saw jungle. I think that's something we really took for granted with the Chapter 3 map, and I hope it's something we really see in Chapter 4. I think it would really suck to miss out on the snow biome or the desert biome or the jungle, though I do think aspects of these could be improved. I feel like while we had a bunch of biome diversity, none of them were really fleshed out to the point where I feel like they were really amazing, especially the snow part of the map. So I'd really love to see a fully fleshed out snow biome and a fully fleshed out jungle biome, because it seems like what we got wasn't quite there, but it was still cool to see. But yeah, overall I want to see a lot of really fleshed out biomes on the brand new map. Next up would be a brand new story. On top of a brand new map, I think Fortnite should completely reset the storyline as well. I think that would be helpful for getting brand new people into the storyline. And yeah, I just really feel like the storyline has become really convoluted over the years, and I think it would be really helpful to have just a brand new reset. I stopped being interested in the storyline a really long time ago, and I think the only way they could get me back into it is if they did a full reset of it. So yeah, I think a brand new story would be awesome. I also hope we go back to a more cartoony visual aesthetic or cartoony art style. I feel like Fortnite was really iconic in Chapter 1 because of its art style, because of how unique it was, and I feel like over time the game has become less unique with its art style. Like a lot of the Chapter 3 buildings look great, but they kind of made the pieces look a lot more realistic. All the furniture looks more realistic. The windows don't have like that tilted or like crooked kind of aesthetic to them. Same with the doors and all that kind of stuff. Old Fortnite Chapter 1 and even some parts of Chapter 2 kind of had this art style where everything was a bit off. Everything was a bit more cartoony. Nothing was perfectly symmetrical or realistic. But in Chapter 3, I feel like we got more realistic instead of more cartoony like a lot of people wanted to see, including myself. You can also see this with weapon designs. A lot of the weapons look a lot more realistic than they used to. And while a lot of this stuff looks great, I feel like what they did with the art style over the years has kind of made Fortnite lose a bit of its identity. And I think if we got more of that cartoony stuff back, it could be really, really cool. I'm not saying the game should look exactly like it did in Chapter 1, but it should be more reminiscent of it. And I think that would help bring back a lot of the game's personality, because as time goes on, I feel like the game started to feel more corporate. And I really think that's because of the lack of personality that the game has had over the years. So yeah, cartoony art style returning would be great. Another thing I'd love to see return is a lot of the old weapons. I said that I want a completely new map and a completely new story, but the one thing I do want to see return is the weapons, because classic Fortnite weapons are iconic, and I feel like there's certain weapons that should always be in the game, including but not limited to the pump shotgun, the tac shotgun, the standard AR, the rocket launcher, and the bolt action sniper. Of course, I feel like there should be plenty of room to innovate with the weapons, because I like that they tried to innovate for Chapter 3, but I do think that there's certain weapons that should always be in the game. But other than those weapons that I listed, they should take all those other spots for weapons and continue creating innovative weapons that are hopefully more fun and interesting than the ones that we got in Chapter 3. I think the Chapter 3 weapons got better over time, but there was still a lot that I don't think were great, and for the majority of Chapter 3 seasons, the loot pools kind of were the worst parts of all of them. And speaking of weapons, I think weapon attachments would be a great way to innovate on weapons without having to make new ones, because weapon attachments would add a lot of variety to gameplay and would add a lot more strategy to Fortnite. Imagine carrying around a bolt action sniper, but you find an attachment that allows you to have 3 bolts in the clip instead of just 1, like the hunter bolt. Or maybe you have a standard AR, but you're able to find a silencer to make it more like the silenced AR, or a scope for it that makes it like the scoped AR. Of course, these are all just examples based on weapons that we already have in the game, but you can really go crazy with this. Even small things like gun handles to make accuracy smoother, or attachments that slightly decrease recoil. I also feel like a lot of these attachments should have trade-offs so that there's more strategy in which attachments you pick. Like say you have a grip for a shotgun that makes the recoil a lot less, but also makes it so your reload time is just a bit slower. Again, these are all examples of what they could do, but I feel like there's a lot of creativity creativity and a lot of strategy that could come from weapon attachments. And it could just add a lot of replayability to the game, so I feel like it's kind of a no-brainer. Next up, I really think that we should see a first-person mode for Zero Build. I think this would change the game an insane amount, and a first-person mode combined with a map that better integrates natural cover, while also throwing weapon attachments into the mix, could make for one of Fortnite's most fun modes. And just having the option to be able to play Fortnite in first person would be immensely fun. Would I prefer first person over third person? I don't know, but I think just the option to be able to use that mode would be great. And it would also add some more value to weapon wraps, because I feel like weapon wraps right now aren't really that great because you can barely see them when actually playing. So yeah, I just think first person will be really fun. And while this video is focused on BR, I think having that option for creative as well would be a game changer. So yeah, first person would honestly be awesome. Also, I just hope we get some other new big innovations. I don't know exactly what those would be, but just something that changes up the gameplay of Fortnite a lot. We saw innovations this chapter like zero build, sprinting, mantling, sliding, all that kind of stuff, and all those things are great, but I feel like they're more complementary to the gameplay of Fortnite. I want something that really changes the core of Fortnite's gameplay. And again, I don't really know what that would be, but I have faith that Epic Games could think of something. Also, I just really want LTMs just back in rotation, and it worries me that this probably won't happen because Fortnite just introduced a new mode that pretty much allows you to make your own LTMs, so they're probably going to be relying on creative even more, which is disappointing, but I do hope we see some new interesting LTMs. And finally, a new cosmetic type would also be really cool. Something like calling cards would be a really simple addition, but would also be really cool, and I think it'd be neat if they added challenges alongside unlocking them to kind of give you an incentive to play the game a bit more and unlock these special new cosmetics. But yeah guys, that's about going to do it for my hopes in this video. What are your guys' hopes for chapter 4? Let me know in the comment section below. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new because I make videos like this all the time, and you can also use my supporter creator code Bendominator in the Fortnite item shop #ad. Thank you guys so much for watching, have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.